Welcome into another edition of Sports Junkies at RacineSportsZone.com. I'm Steve Sparky Fifer from the Wendy's Big Show, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on AM 1250 and 105.7 FM The Fan. He, of course, Gery Woelfel of the Racine Journal-Times. Time to do a little pack-a-talk as we talk about this Green Bay Packers team. They're still undefeated. They're 4-0 now. I'll be honest, I thought the Packers would take care of the Niners in quicker fashion than maybe they did in Week 4. But part of it was the offense just couldn't seem to get itself going in the first half. The offensive line probably didn't play as well as it wanted to play. Don Barclay wasn't that good. Josh Sitton had a couple holding penalties. Bakhtiari, I don't think, played all that well. It was just an off day for the offense. But even with that, this defense, Gery Woelfel, is getting after the quarterback like something we haven't seen in years from this Packers team.
No, they haven't. I brought this up maybe last week. It sounds ludicrous because nobody's done it forever. But I think they got a legitimate shot.
No.
I have no doubt. And I'll tell you why, Steve. Did you think the defense was going to be this good so early in the season? Or even good? I mean, coming into the season?
I thought they could be 15th, middle of the pack.
Yeah, exactly. Just a run-of-the-mill defense. But all of a sudden...
They're top 10 right now.
They are. They look very impressive on defense. They're getting some great play from their defensive line.
Well, Raji looks like the Raji from his rookie year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a big deal. And
Elliott, I mean,
Well, Jaron Elliott showed flashes last year, showed flashes in preseason, and they just, for whatever reason, weren't getting on the field. Now he's getting on the field more, which helps. And the other guy, look, Raji's in a contract year. Now you could say, well, he's been in a contract year for the last couple of years. But he's in a contract year, and Nick Perry's in a contract year because they didn't extend him.
And Nick Perry's playing very well.
He is.
You know, people aren't talking about, but he's not the bust that everybody thought he was going to be. I mean, he's a solid player.
He's this year for the first time that he can play. But
Absolutely.
Everybody's got to remember, this is a guy, again, that should have been a 4-3 end. That they had to convert to a 3-4 outside linebacker and a guy that's battled injuries his entire career so far in Green Bay.
Right. And okay, so the defense has been a major surprise, at least in my mind, okay? The offense is sputtering. It isn't clicking on all cylinders. And part of that's injuries, part of it's continuity.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, you know it's just a matter of time before they get their act together.
And they will.
It's a veteran crew. So you combine that defense, offense, they got a guy that can help them on returns in Montgomery, which they never had, at least seldom in the past. This team has a chance to be really good.
Let me ask you this. What do you think has a better chance? Because in my opinion, neither one has a chance.
Yeah.
But which one has a better chance?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers goes the whole year without a pick, or the Packers go undefeated?
Packers going undefeated. Aaron Rodgers is going to get picked off.
Somebody asked him that this week at the press conference. Do you think you could go all year without a pick? And he's like, no.
No, absolutely. I mean, that would be ludicrous. Because, I mean, even if he threw a ball on the mark, a guy might bobble it, some fluke play will go in the air.
I'm telling you right now, if he runs the table and doesn't throw a pick in the regular season, they just put him in the NFL Hall of Fame now.
They can put him in now.
No, just now. Just forget the 5 years. You're going in now, just for this year by itself.
You know what? When veteran quarterbacks come along and publicly say that he might be the best all time, guys like Aikman and Boomer Esiason and stuff like that, no more needs to be said. I mean, these are guys that played the game. They've seen the great quarterbacks.
And that's
he's in. He's a Hall of Famer already.
But you need more than one ring to go along with that. You need more than one ring.
I think
you can be the greatest ever, but you've got to get more than one ring.
If you want the legacy as the greatest quarterback, but as a Hall of Famer, he's in.
No, I agree. Yes, he's in.
I totally agree with your.
But he's got to have more than one.
Absolutely.
Because there are so many guys with one, and that's why Brett Favre doesn't ever come up in greatest of all time.
Correct.
Because he only has one. The same reason Peyton Manning will never come up in that conversation, because he only has one.
Well, you know what?
There's one exception to the rule that people want to bring up because they feel bad, and that's Marino. Marino was a hell of a quarterback. He doesn't have a ring. All that, fine, I get that. And people still want to put him up there.
And you know what?
And you can have that conversation. But for my money, it's Montana and Brady 1-2, and then you could have the conversation of who's after that.
Well, again, I would throw Johnny Unitas. I mean, that's
fine.
That's going before your
Sure, I'm fine with that. But I mean, if you look at the talent that Brady had to play with, a wide receiver.
I agree. I
mean, my God.
I agree.
Givens, Troy Brown, some of these guys he had at the beginning, these tiny little receivers, they weren't Moss, they weren't T.O., none of these guys early. When they were on those run of Super Bowls, he didn't have premier wide receivers to throw the football to. And when he did, they got all the way there and then lost.
To support your case, I don't know if you remember this, 3 or 4 years ago, they asked Rodgers point blank who's the best quarterback, and he said Tom Brady by far.
Yeah, but the difference is that Brady's going to get away with cheating, it looks like.
Oh, here we go.
Montana never cheated.
Don't even go down that road.
Montana never cheated. Montana never cheated. So, Montana's I don't care what Brady did.
How do you know, even to this day, that Tom Brady cheated?
So you don't think so?
I don't know, and I don't care. The game they're making this big deal about, the Patriots won by what?
Gary,
30 points or whatever? Who cares if the ball is lighter, heavier?
There is no way you could tell me, based on the text messages and everything else that were found in these guys' phones, that were apparently told by Brady to do this, that they weren't told by Tom Brady.
But to me, it was
those text messages pretty much tell you that Brady was instructing them on how he wanted the balls.
Yeah, you know what? I'll bet.
I'll
bet he's in good company along the way.
Maybe, but he's the one that got caught.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Just like Belichick's the one that got caught videotaping.
That has absolutely no bearings on his career.
It does for me. Yeah, he's a cheater.
Gery Woelfel. I got one quick question. Yeah. Last week's game, Rodgers was on the sidelines, and he got upset with McCarthy. Did you see that early in the game? He was upset, and I haven't seen that in a couple of years. And I thought, you, being the insightful guy that you are, might know what triggered that.
And to be honest with you, nobody's brought it up on the big show either. But I will find out. I will ask around and see what I
thought that was really interesting because you just don't see that anymore. I mean, they're definitely on the same page.
Right.
But for that one instant, something happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's for another video. He's Gery Woelfel. I'm Steve Sparky Fifer. Thanks for tuning in for a little pack of talk here at RacineSportsZone.com. I'll see you next week.